Lavell Juan Malloy II is the CEO and co-founder of Bragg House, NASDAQ stock symbol TBH. The Bragg House was what that stands for. Just a little sneak peek. I have asked Lavell to come do a regular podcast with us here in studio.
Really?
Yes, and you need to be a part of that. So
Okay.
yeah, because this is one of the smartest punktrepreneurs I've ever met.
Yeah.
And he's turned out to be a good friend, and he's a good dude. I can't wait for us to freaking to blow this up, because I think that there's so much you youngins can teach old guys like Mike. Along the way. What's up, bud? Good to talk to you, man. How are you?
Good to talk to you. Good to be back here. I was glad I get to be in studio with you guys.
I want to go back and talk about Bragg House, because you got big brand names like Amazon and Walmart, and they're spending fortunes trying to figure out Gen Z, Gen Y. I guess we're starting over Gen 1, if I'm not mistaken. And you guys have really solved the problem. And I've always said that you guys took an affinity group, and that was the Gen Z, Gen Y, and you backed in a business model into an existing group that was thirsty for it, and that would be obviously the gaming side, but also financial services as well. Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I think that's kind of always been the plan. You kind of start with engagement. We took a built-in community, and then we gave them different rails so that they could engage in ways that they wanted to engage. And now we're really putting, with the merger that we're doing with the House of Doge, we're putting on the second, which I think is a really important piece, and that's ownership, financial rails. So to be able to kind of do that with the same engaged community, we're pretty excited about that.
Lavell, I'm curious. I'm in my past 50s, as I like to say.
How many months is that?
Oh God.
How old is your son?
Toph is now 283 months old.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 23.
Okay, so that means you're 500 and
It works.
285. You're 568 months old.
Okay, so yeah, spring chicken. So it's Lavell, but my group is that a group that you're also thinking of? That, I mean, because people who game and people who jump online, I mean, it's the spectrum from probably 5 or 6 up to maybe people in their 70s.
Are you a gamer?
Yeah.
What do you game?
Fortnite, baby.
You play Fortnite?
Heck yeah, I play Call of Duty.
Your wife calls it Fart Night, but it's a whole different thing.
Get the hell out
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same. Do you really play?
We got to get you in a tournament.
Exactly.
Trace. Only reason I ask you, Trace, you're the youngest one up there. Do you play video games still?
Sometimes with my son, yeah.
James and Brian at all?
Every now and then.
Do you really?
My buddy just told me that his son just got a scholarship for playing.
What?
Number
Yeah.
3 in
Okay,
the
let me tell you why that's smart. Because I think that all of future defense, country defense, is going to happen out of a little, those containers.
Totally.
Buried
in the desert somewhere.
Buried in the desert somewhere, and some guy who's good at video games is going to be able to do that. I mean, you're not going to have people in fighter jets. You're going to have drones up there, right?
It's true. They have that now. To answer your question, where you said, the gaming was the mechanics.
Yeah.
So again, we looked at the community that we had, and we said, hey, what are the things that they're engaging in that are going to give them access to all that?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the mechanics for it, though. As we're building different things out, those mechanics change. And whether it's bragging, whether it's betting, whether it's some type of other type of feature, it's the same culture to capital that we've been trying to say. You take the community that's there, you feed them with the things that they need, and then you build those rails around it. So that was just one part of it, but we are obviously, as the community gets bigger, outside of just the college community, this is going to be a global thing.
Sure.
So we're making sure that we look at all those things.
Love it.
Hey, can you talk to us again, like you have in the past, about the attention deficit of big retail? Because I think that's something that we need to revisit. That's a big piece. You made a great point of that one time. I want to bring that back up.
Yeah, it's interesting because it goes back to the same thing, kind of sticking the round the square into the round peg, or whatever that expression is. It's like a lot of these retailers, and I sat down and talked with even our partners who I love, the McDonald's, Coca-Colas, and stuff of the world, all the way down to Learfield, who obviously their prime demographics is media for college students. and they really don't understand what this new generation is kind of like in how they're engaging, how their attention span is, the way that they need to kind of see things.
Yeah.
And the ROI, so the ROI is just very different. And no matter how much they try, really creating something authentic is not an easy thing to do. And I think the market advantage that we did is that's how we started. So 4 or 5 years, we were kind of like, ahead of everyone. And then what other brands and companies were doing is they said, oh, wait, these are casual people. So let's go pay a lot of money to someone to play casually, and that'll attract them. And what people don't understand is and I've done a lot of research for my legal background for it, even before I entered the market. For the Gen Z community, they are authenticity is something super important to them. So they spot those things immediately. But if you can get them with some kind of brand loyalty, loyal forever.
Hey, can I say this once again? Stock Symbol TBH, the Bragg House. You guys really have. I mean, you're a media tech firm, is I think what we should actually call you, and you've kind of engineered a way to own the attention of Gen Z, Gen X, versus renting it, like many big retailers are spending billions of dollars just for a flash attention span. Talk about that,
Yep.
Dominic. I think that's huge.
Yeah, I know, and I've said that a couple of times. I think again, it's going back to kind of what the ROI people see. They'll think of a billboard, billions and millions and millions of dollars to get a certain reaction that won't last. And what we tried to do is we said, hey, you know what? Let's stop. We want the entire platform to be their interaction. And then from there we can own it, and we own it. Now we're all part of the same thing, working together. The KPIs are better, the ROIs are better. So we're not just spending all this money randomly hoping for one result, even if that. We're giving you everything. So the renting versus buying versus owning is I think it's a really, really big thing that I think, brands are going to have to start either hiring Bragg House for their media tech thing, or they're going to have to address it because again, the generation is just much smarter.
Lavell, how big? How quickly is this landscape growing for you? I mean, so much in today's society, technology-wise, it just grows by leaps and bounds. What about you? How fast is it expanding?
It's going pretty fast. I think, once we went public and we took our company public, I think a lot of opportunities even opened up even more. So before it was media entertainment, that's what I kind of classified it as. Then we kind of saw it was like a little bit more, again, we're a media tech company, but we saw it was more in the advertising, we're connecting people. Now we're dealing, full circle, because it's something very important to me, with college sports, with NIL.
Sure.
Shaping that landscape there. And then we deal with that, it's also now related to education. Yeah. So it's getting really big, and I think, again, with the financial piece, my goal is to have the whole ecosystem running through Bragg House.
Love it. Lavell Juan Malloy II, CEO, co-founder of Bragg House, ticker symbol TBH. You're going to see a ton of him as this monster grows right here on the Big Biz Show. Speaking of that, do not go anywhere. We are back right after this.